The Roman legion was a powerful force that dominated warfare for centuries. These soldiers were the backbone of the Roman Empire, and their discipline and organization were unmatched in the ancient world. Like that friend with too many Instagram followers, they were always conquering something. From the rolling hills of Gaul to the deserts of Egypt, the Roman legions left their mark everywhere they went. But what made them so tough? Was it the togas? Spoiler alert, it wasn't the togas. It was their rigorous training, advanced equipment, and innovative tactics that set them apart. This essay dives into the world of the legions, exploring their organization, training, and equipment. We'll uncover how they maintained such high levels of discipline and efficiency. We'll see how their strategies and logistics turned them into the ancient world's biggest bullies. Their ability to move quickly and strike with precision was unparalleled. Think of it like a military documentary, but with less yelling and more humor. We'll explore the lighter side of Legion life, from their camaraderie to their downtime activities. So, grab your pilum, that's a javelin for you non-legionaries, and let's march into the heart of the Roman war machine. We'll look at the weapons they used and how they were designed for maximum effectiveness. Get ready for a wild ride through history, because things are about to get legionary. From epic battles to everyday life, we'll cover it all. So, strap on your sandals and prepare for an adventure through the annals of Roman military might. Imagine a wall, not just any wall, but a wall made of thousands of disciplined armored soldiers. That's the Roman legion in a nutshell. Each legionary was a brick, forged in the fires of rigorous training and bound together by iron discipline. These weren't your average warriors, running into battle with reckless abandon. They were professionals, trained to fight as a unit, a terrifying, coordinated force that could crush even the most fearsome barbarians. Sorry, barbarians, but you guys really needed to up your organization game. But what made this wall so strong? How did Rome turn ordinary men into disciplined killing machines? To understand that, we need to break down the legion into its smaller parts, the cohorts and centuries. Think of the Roman legion as a giant Lego set. Imagine the precision and creativity that goes into building a massive Lego structure. Now apply that same concept to the Roman military, but with a lot more at stake. Each legion was made up of smaller, interchangeable units called cohorts, kind of like those big Lego base plates you build everything on. These cohorts were the building blocks of the Roman military machine, each one essential to the overall structure. And each cohort? You guessed it, more Legos. These were further divided into centuries, which were the real workhorses of the legion. Think of them as the smaller, intricate pieces that make the whole set come to life. These centuries were 80-man units led by a centurion. Spoiler, he wasn't actually 100 years old, but he probably felt like it after a long day of battle. The centurion was the backbone of the Roman army, responsible for training, discipline, and leading his men into the fray. This modular system was pure genius. It allowed the Roman army to be incredibly adaptable and efficient. Each piece could be moved and reconfigured as needed, making the legion a formidable force on the battlefield. Need to plug a gap in the line? Send in a cohort. These units could be deployed quickly to reinforce weak points, ensuring that the line held strong against enemy attacks. Flanking maneuver? 2 centuries ought to do the trick. These smaller units could execute complex maneuvers with precision, outflanking and outsmarting their opponents. It gave Roman commanders incredible flexibility on the battlefield. They could adapt to changing conditions and make quick decisions, often turning the tide of battle in their favor. But having a well-organized army is only half the battle. The real challenge was ensuring that every soldier knew their role and could perform it under the stress of combat. You need to train those soldiers, and Rome had a very specific way of doing things. Rigorous training regimens, strict discipline, and constant drills ensured that every legionary was prepared for the chaos of battle. This relentless preparation was key to Rome's military success, making their legions some of the most feared and respected forces in the ancient world. Joining the Roman army wasn't like signing up for a gym membership, it was more like signing your life away. For 25 years, yes, you read that right, these recruits ate, slept, and breathed war. Training was brutal, designed to weed out the weak and forge the survivors into hardened soldiers. They marched for miles with heavy packs, learned swordsmanship, javelin throwing, and even practiced building those famous Roman forts. By the end of it all, they weren't just soldiers. They were Roman legionaries, the most disciplined, well-trained fighting force in the ancient world, and they had the scars to prove it. Section 5. Gladius, not just a fish. Every warrior needs a trusty weapon, and the Roman legionaries had a real winner, the gladius. This short, double-edged sword was perfect for the close-quarters combat the legions excelled at. Think of it like the Swiss Army knife of swords. It could stab, slash, and even be used defensively. Plus, its short length made it ideal for the tight formations the Romans loved so much. But the gladius was just one piece of the puzzle. The Romans were masters of combining different weapons and tactics to devastating effect, and nowhere was this more evident than in their massive legions. Section 6. Legion power. Because one just won't cut it. By 117 AD, the Roman Empire was at its peak. And what do you do when you're the biggest, baddest empire around? You build a massive army, of course. At its height, the Roman army boasted a staggering 30 legions. That's over 150,000 highly trained soldiers, not including auxiliary forces. These legions were Rome's iron fist, stationed across the empire to maintain order and crush any rebellion that dared to raise its head. But having a big army is one thing. Knowing how to use it is another. And boy, did the Romans know how to use their legions. Section 7. Tactical genius. Think outside the chariot. The Romans weren't known for their flashy tactics. They didn't have war elephants or chariots of fire. Their strength lay in discipline, organization, and a knack for adapting to any situation. One of their most famous formations was the testudo, or tortoise. Imagine a giant, armored box formed by legionaries locking their shields together. Arrows bounced harmlessly off this mobile fortress, making it perfect for sieges and defending against ranged attacks. But Roman tactics weren't all about defense. They were masters of flanking maneuvers, using their well-drilled legions to outmaneuver and encircle their enemies. It was like a deadly game of chess, and the Romans were grandmasters. Section 8. Feeding the beast. An army marches on its stomach. Ever tried conquering Gaul on an empty stomach? It's not pretty. The Romans knew that logistics, the art of getting supplies where they needed to be, was just as important as tactics and weaponry. A legion on the march was like a moving city, consuming massive amounts of food, water, and equipment. To keep their armies supplied, the Romans built a vast network of roads and supply depots, ensuring that their legions always had what they needed to conquer, pillage, and maybe grab a snack or two. This logistical mastery was one of Rome's secret weapons, allowing them to campaign far from their borders and maintain their dominance for centuries. Section 9. Engineering victory. Roads, aqueducts, domination. The Romans were more than just conquerors. They were builders, engineers, and innovators. Their infrastructure projects, like roads and aqueducts, weren't just feats of engineering. They were strategic assets that played a crucial role in their military success. Those straight, paved roads? They weren't just for chariots. They allowed legions to move quickly across vast distances, reinforcing threatened borders or crushing rebellions before they could gain momentum. And those aqueducts, supplying cities with fresh water? Well-hydrated soldiers fight better, and thirsty enemies are less likely to put up a fight. The Romans understood that true power lay not just in the strength of your army, but in the strength of your foundations. Section 10. Conclusion. The Roman recipe for world domination. So there you have it. The story of the Roman legion is not just a tale of military might, but a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. The Roman legion, a force to be reckoned with, wasn't just a product of brute strength. It was a symbol of the empire's relentless pursuit of excellence. It was a carefully crafted machine, fueled by discipline, organization, and a healthy dose of pragmatism. Every soldier knew their role, and every action was meticulously planned. From their rigorous training and innovative equipment, which included the iconic gladius and the sturdy scutum, to their adaptable tactics and logistical mastery, the Romans were always a step ahead of their enemies. The Romans left no stone unturned in their quest for military supremacy. Their engineers built roads and fortifications that still stand today, a testament to their skill and foresight. They were the ultimate conquerors, and their legacy continues to fascinate and inspire us today. Their influence can be seen in modern military strategies and organizational structures. So the next time you see a picture of a legionary, don't just see a soldier. See a symbol of an empire that changed the course of history. Don't just see a warrior. See a cog in the most efficient war machine the ancient world had ever seen. And maybe, just maybe, spare a thought for the poor barbarians who had to face them in battle. These were people who faced an almost insurmountable force, yet fought with courage and tenacity. The Romans may have been the victors, but the stories of those who resisted them are equally compelling. Their struggles and sacrifices add another layer to the rich tapestry of history.